Rapid Transformational Therapy practitioner and hypnotherapist. After dealing with a serious loss in her life in 2006, Dara was searching for something to assist her with the pain of the experience. She did traditional therapy for 3 years and then through further research discovered hypnotherapy. Her first interaction with hypnotherapy was with Uncommon Knowledge. Uncommon Knowledge and their download started the healing process. However, Rapid Transformational Therapy or RTT catapulted her healing to wow. In an hour-and-a-half session, Rapid Transformational Therapy located the roots of the pain and loss and changed it. The experience and the results that she achieved in such a short time led her to the decision to help others via this process. According to Dara, Rapid Transformational Therapy works, change is inevitable, and freedom is imminent. Are you ready for our interview?
Yes.
Are you excited?
Very much so. I can't sleep much.
Really? Why not?
I was just at my partner keep asking me, "You okay, all right?" I said, "Yeah, I'm good." But last night I was just kept thinking about how it's going to go.
Oh, about today?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure if it was something else you were dealing with yesterday that kept you up, that you were doing, or you were like thinking about it.
Yeah,
okay.
I was like, it's finally here.
Okay, so the first question, and I spoke about it in the intro, but I would like to hear from you specifically. What is Rapid Transformational Therapy and how does it work?
Rapid Transformational Therapy is a group of different types of therapy branched in together, which was created by Marissa Peer about 33 years ago. So it combines CBT, NLP, psychology, and hypnosis, all combined together so that we can get this original, fresh type of therapy. And it's amazing.
So you told me that when we spoke before, you told me that you ended up doing it because you'd lost your son.
Yes.
And I remember when I was talking to you on the phone and I was like, I was just like stunned because I feel like as though in the human experience, there's certain things that kind of are really impactful experiences. Mm-hmm. And I think in the area of experiences that are difficult or maybe traumatic or maybe the most, guys, I feel like this might be the first crying interview. I feel like, because I'm a cryy person. I'm actually amazed that I haven't cried as yet, and I don't know how it's going to work out because it's going to be crying, but I can't move because I can't mess up the audio, and then the makeup, and then I don't know, so like, but I don't know, but we'll see how it goes. So I just think that, you know, in the spectrum of human emotions and human experience, and some of the things that are most difficult, I mean, I don't have children, but I just imagine like losing a child is like, you know, like top. If I don't even know, I'm wanting to think it might be at the top of things that might be most difficult to deal with as a human being. So when you told me that, I was just like, I mean, this is me. This is somebody who obviously doesn't have a child, but I'm just imagining. So when you told me that, I was like, oh my God. And then you told me that you were like dealing with that over a period of time and trying to come to terms with it, and that this really helped. And I thought, wow, that is an amazing story. So I'm interested to find out about, you know, your experience, what you went through with that, and how you ended up doing RTT and how it helped you.
So my partner at the time, him and I was trying to have a baby for at least 2 years. And in 2005, we finally did get pregnant. And it was a long process. I had to do several surgeries and go through a lot of trying things in order to get pregnant. So finally in 2005 we were pregnant, and we had a son coming in. And
Okay. I don't know who, but somebody get it.
Yeah, so in 2006 we finally we were on the way, we're going to have a baby. And when at 28 weeks, he came early and he did not survive. At 4 days, he passed. And so going through all that process and not having, you know, a baby, to say that I gone through all this and now I have my son, I can raise him. I didn't have him. And so that process was really, really hard. And I never got over it for a very, very long time. Because I always thought it was my fault, something I didn't do. What then I didn't do? What I could have done, I went over. I said, maybe God is punishing me for all the sins that I have. All the sins I have done in my past, maybe that was the reason why. So a lot of guilt got built up in the pain that I was already carrying from past experiences. So I did do regular therapy, and that went on for at least 3 years. And at the end of it all, and when we finally said our goodbyes, my therapist and I just realized that I had to just live with this pain. And it just wasn't enough, because I couldn't go to any baby showers. Although I was happy that other people were getting pregnant and having babies and all that, having a bundle of joy, I still couldn't go through that process. And even trying to have a child after that, I was like, I don't ever want to experience that pain again. So that held back my life. I was like, no, never again. So I knew that I couldn't live with this, because although one part of your life is only one part of your life is affected, it kind of like spreads through everything. And so you find happiness only for a moment, and then you go back and then you see a child play, you really can't go in and enjoy these sorts of things. So I know definitely something had to be done. And so I kept searching and searching. And in 2017, after that was quite, 11 years, I happened upon Uncommon Knowledge, and they started dealing with the grief and pain and stuff. I did a couple of hypnosis download, and that was pretty helpful. My journeys of healing started there. Then I started doing the training with them to be a hypnotherapist, but then that didn't pan out, because I found the process of getting someone into hypnosis was just so long and drawn out. But I never stopped searching. Then I happened upon Marissa Peer and her Rapid Transformational Therapy, and I had a session done, and I came to understand why the pain was there when it started, why I couldn't let go of the guilt, why I kept carrying this pain as a backpack. It became like a part of my identity, right? So if anybody came close to me or anything like that, I could always use that to push them away, or not. I can't, because things are not happening in my life. I'm not worthy of that because this happened. I'm not worthy to have a child because this happened, and I did this, and all these different things just came up in that session. And because I was able to see where that pain started from, where the guilt started from, and put everything into perspective, understand that losing my son, yes, that is very painful, but I don't, forgetting, not putting down the pain, putting down the guilt, doesn't mean I have lost him. So when I was able to understand that, comprehend that his love and my love for him would never die, but the pain could leave, then I was like, okay, yeah, I finally got my freedom. I finally got it. Yes, life can continue on. And that is what RTT did for me, and that is why I know it can help anyone.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like, just to think that 11 years, because 11 years is such a long time. And you might think, like, something you're dealing with for 11 years, I would think, like, if it was me, I'd be really tempted to think, okay, now this is done. This is just it. This is life now. Mm-hmm. But exactly. Yeah, but I'm really amazed that you kept, like, some aspect of you remained open to some kind of solution or some kind of healing. But within that time, would you say that the pain was kind of at the same intensity as the start during that time? Or I know you said the traditional therapy helped somewhat, mm-hmm. but over that 11-year period, would you say that the pain kind of dissipated or changed a little bit, or it was like really intense throughout that entire period?
No, with emotions, what we do is it will we tend to push it down. If something happens, we get angry, we don't feel our feelings. We tend to just push things down. So something will happen and it will just explode. Like, where this stuff is coming from? Or just I'll have bouts of tears and crying and bawling and all these. And it's like, where? I thought I've dealt with this, but no, I really didn't deal with it. All I know, I'm living with it. And so you'll have moments, it just pops up. And it's very intense. And once you shove it down again, when it finally finds a way to come out, it's more explosive. Yeah. So each time, as you're going along your life calmly, but then let something happen, and then you see, why am I so angry? Why am I yelling for no reason? Why this person just did something very simply and it's hurting me so much? So that is how pain is expressed when it's not dealt with.
Yeah. So within that period, were you working?
Yeah.
And that was affecting, you saw a marked difference, like was it affecting your work and how effective you were able to be and all that?
I was a functioning person.
Right.
I functioned well because I just dived in.
Right.
I didn't think about anything else because I didn't want to feel it. Although I was doing counseling, again, I always, I came to the conclusion I had to live with this. So I had to find a way of living with it.
Yeah. So I think this is one of the more personal interviews I'm doing. But if anything is too personal and you don't want to answer, it's fine.
Yeah.
But so after that, did you still want to have children after that? But it was like just that you didn't want to experience the pain, or like did you try to have children again after that, or?
No. I'm just now in a relationship that I am thinking again of having children because I've came to the realization that the pain is not there, the guilt is not there, and so since I'm not carrying down that weight, I'm lighter now.
Yeah.
I think I can do things. I can accept things and welcome things in my life, and that is one process that I'm really, really thinking about now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before, no way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't dealt with.
So. And again, like I did a RTT session, and like that was a whole different realm that I went to.
Mm-hmm.
So, and for me, I know I wouldn't want to share like specific things about it, but I don't know if you would care to share anything about like if you saw where some of those things were triggered in you before that actual experience with your son. Like if when you did the session, some things came up where you realize, okay, some of what's causing me to hold on to this pain is actually something that happened before what happened with my son, and that really is helping me to put that experience in context.
Well, in a RTT session, as you would know,
Yes.
but as most people may not know, there is a part that you do a regression.
Yeah.
And in the regression, it allows your subconscious mind to come forward and your logical mind, the conscious mind, to like almost kind of lay back and relax. And so when you get to the subconscious mind, you're able to access different events that's causing certain things to come up. So I was carrying a lot of I had guilt for losing my son because I thought it was my fault and a whole lot of other things. But then when we got into this session, it had other things that was there in my past.
Right.
At 7 years old, at 9 years old, that came up, that dealt with pain, that dealt with guilt as to why I was carrying that. But when my son died, that just catapulted everything that was
Right.
already there.
Right. Mm-hmm. And how did you come across this stuff with Marissa Peer? Like, was it online?
Yeah.
Did you do directly with her? Or did you do with one of the other therapists? And what was that kind of like initial interaction like when you spoke with them and you decided to actually go through the session?
Well, after doing her research and doing a course, I Am Enough audio sessions with her, I bought the course and I was doing that as well. I was like, okay, this is definitely, I need to speak some money. Because the downloads are good, but then sometimes we cannot heal if we don't understand our specific problem. So I needed to know why for myself. Yeah. And that's when I seek counseling or a session with it. therapist.
Before you did the session, did you actually have any expectations of what would happen? Like, did you think, because it'd been such a long time before, and you'd obviously tried lots of different things. So did you kind of go in thinking, like, wow, this could be the thing that could really have this drastic effect that you see now? Or were you just kind of a little bit more, just kind of think, like, hopeful, thinking it might, like reserve, like it might improve a little bit, but I don't know?
I did not know what to expect at all, because she says it, she gives example of what the subconscious mind does, and it's great, like seeing someone else on television, but actually experience it is nothing the same than you going back and you seeing yourself as a 9-year-old, as a 7-year-old. And I have had clients that's in the womb where we're all sensation, and so we're just feeling and hearing, and so experiencing that for myself was totally different.
I know, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's such a trip, OMG. So what then, how did you make the decision that you wanted to get certified as a rapid transformational?
I mean, right after the session.
Right, really? Yeah. Like immediately?
Yeah,
like,
I just knew
this.
it, yeah. I said, this could help so many people.
Yeah.
So many people need this. Yeah, definitely. It was like, okay, what can I do? What do I have to go and look for? And I just started that search.
Okay, so you did the session in 2017.
I got into uncommon knowledge in 2017,
right.
And then actually in 2019, late 2018, 2019, got into and found out about Marissa Peer, and in 2019 did the training.
Okay, sure. So what was the process like becoming certified in RTT?
It's an ongoing process. You never stop learning. You never stop learning, because some of it is online, and then you go to live workshops and where you work with Marissa herself, and we do therapy sessions with other therapists. Is really for several days, and then we come back and our training continues online. Yeah. And we also, every month we have classes with Marissa, we have group meetings, and we all exchange information. Is ongoing. Even after you graduate and you're certified, you still continue on with your training, because new techniques are developed. If someone is dealing with a specific issue that you have no experience, and then you come on and you hear about it, then it's like, okay, then I know how to handle a client if they come in with a specific issue that you have never dealt with. So the knowledge is always coming in, always ongoing.
Yeah. So I know that how long was the period? I know you said it's always ongoing, but how long was the actual formal training period?
Formal training, 3 months.
Okay. And I don't know that I necessarily ascribe to the phrase that everything happens for a reason. I don't know that I ascribe to that, but I do think that it's useful for human beings to view their life and their life experiences in a certain way where they come out of it in a way that helps them change for the better. So I think the lens through which you view experiences is useful. So I wonder what your take on is, having gone through that experience that caused you to search, and then you found RTT, and then it had such a big impact in your life, and now it's a big part of what you do and how you serve humanity. And I wonder for you, like, how you kind of link that, or what your interpretation of that is.
Well, I always knew I wanted to help people, but I never knew how. And I started, I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and cybercrime. So it was always in the help of serving others. And, but that never, when I got to understand law, I found that was bias. And then it just so happened that it worked out. And it's effective, it's immediate. It's 1 to 3 sessions, someone is changed, life is changed, the world is a better place, because one person feels that freedom, feels that, that energy, that things can be better. And I think that speaks for itself, and I knew that I wanted to help, and this is the way I feel that I'm most effective.
Yeah. What I find interesting about this, about RTT specifically, is that, I mean, there is the traditional route of very intense studying and learning, but I think, and I've discussed this with my other guests as well, where we're in such a unique time in the world where persons are, their profession and their careers and how they are helping others and how they're serving is so varied, and there's so much potential for persons to serve in different ways. And what I find interesting about RTT is that it's almost like it's not restrictive in terms of who can be someone to provide this service. Like almost anyone can, once they do this, go on to provide a service to others that is really remarkable. So that's what I find that's really interesting about RTT. So I find that
you're correct, because you don't have to have a psychology background, psychotherapy background to do this.
Yeah, and that's
that's amazing.
This is amazing. I think we just it's everything in the world, not everything in the world, but there's so many amazing things happening, and it's so instantaneous that things can shift